In The Prince, Machiavelli drops one of the coldest truths ever written. It is better to be feared than loved. If you cannot be both, not terror, not abuse, reverence, consequences, wait. Today I'm going to show you how to build that without becoming a villain. The world does not respect the man who gives himself away. You've been trained to believe that being endlessly warm, endlessly available, endlessly agreeable is good. But out here, on these streets, in jobs, in relationships, in family, unlimited access doesn't create respect. It creates entitlement. And if you've ever felt that quiet rage, that exhaustion from always being the good guy, the nice guy, the one who shows up, while your needs get treated like background noise, this video is for you. Because Machiavelli wasn't teaching men to be evil. He was teaching men how to survive a world that rewards strength, punishes weakness, and tests your frame every day. Rule 1. Stop inflating your value. Think about attention like currency. If a government prints unlimited money, what happens? Inflation. The currency becomes trash. Now look at you. You reply instantly, you over-explain, you apologize for existing, you laugh at things you don't even find funny. You give compliments like you're scared they'll leave if you don't. That's not kindness, that's self-erasure. Machiavelli understood human nature. People are quick to take, slow to appreciate. If you give too much too freely, they don't call you generous, they call you available. So the first move is deflation. Stop flooding the market with you. Do this instead. Stop replying instantly to everything. Stop volunteering your time to people who don't respect it. Stop offering emotional labor to people who don't offer loyalty. Your presence should feel like something earned, not something always on tap. Rule 2. Become hard to move. Most men are not living. They're reacting. One comment ruins their mood. One ignored text turns them into a detective. One compliment makes them arrogant. One insult makes them crash out. That means you can be controlled with a string. Machiavelli warned rulers to protect themselves by never letting enemies know exactly where they can be struck. Because once someone knows what triggers you, they own you. So your job is to become a man who's hard to move emotionally, not numb, not heartless, disciplined. Try this, the pause of power. Before you respond to anything, an insult, a text, an accusation, pause. 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That pause trains your nervous system. I decide, I don't twitch. A man who can't be provoked is terrifying because he can't be steered. Rule 3. Respect is built on consequences. Let's get this straight. Being nice without boundaries is not virtue, it's fear of conflict. In The Prince, Machiavelli repeatedly warns that a ruler must avoid being despised, because once people stop taking you seriously, it's over. And one of the fastest ways to be despised then is to tolerate disrespect with a smile. Your boundary doesn't need a speech, it needs consequences. Do this. The soft. No, you don't need anger. You don't need a lecture. You don't need a paragraph. Just, that doesn't work for me. I'm not doing that. No. And then silence. When you give excuses, you give people something to negotiate with. When you give a clean no, you give them a wall. A man with boundaries becomes respected fast, because people can feel that he is not for everybody. Rule 4. Build your own arms. One of Machiavelli's biggest themes in The Prince is this: a leader must not depend on borrowed power. He must rely on his own arms, his own strength, his own capability, his own foundation. Modern translation: if you're dependent on other people's approval, attention, money, or validation, you are not free. So here's the cold truth. Your confidence will never be real until you're building something that makes you dangerous to underestimate. Your body, your income, your skills, your reputation, your discipline. Because a man with options doesn't beg. A man with options doesn't cling. A man with options doesn't panic. Try this. Pick one weapon to sharpen for 90 days, get stronger, read and study Machiavelli. Build a business, build a skill stack. Clean your finances, build a legacy plan. Coldness without progress is just bitterness. Coldness with a mission becomes power. Rule 5. Control your image. Protect your reality. Machiavelli was blunt about appearances. People judge what they see more than what is true. Translation: stop explaining yourself to everyone. Stop announcing your moves. Stop leaking your plans. Stop telling people what you're about to do like you need permission. Move in silence. Let results introduce you. A man who talks too much is easy to read, easy to predict, easy to sabotage. Try this. Speak in headlines instead of paragraphs. You give, "I'm handling it." Not available. We'll see. Good to know. Not to be mysterious for attention, but because your life is not a public group chat. Rule 6. Withdrawal is not ghosting. Some of you don't need more charisma, you need more space. If people have 24/7 access to you, your value gets diluted. Familiarity can breed contempt, not because people are evil, but because what's always available stops being appreciated. So you reclaim your orbit. You stop living like a moon around other people's planets. You become the sun. You have a schedule. You have standards. You have priorities. You have a mission that doesn't pause because someone wants attention. Do this. Create scarcity the honest way. Not by playing games, by actually having a life you're building. When your purpose is real, your scarcity becomes natural. And natural scarcity is magnetic. Trust me. Rule 7. Your warmth must be earned. Here's the part people miss. This is not about becoming an asshole. This is about choosing where your warmth goes. Because if you're warm to everybody, your warmth is worthless. It's just your default setting. But if you're disciplined, selective, and grounded, then when you show love, it means something. To your woman, if she's earned loyalty. To your circle, if they're solid. To your kids, always, because that's leadership. To your future self, especially. That's the balance Machiavelli was really pointing at. Respect without being hated. Strength without losing control. Power without self-destruction. So if you've been too available, too explainable, too easy to consume, today is the day you stop being a resource and start being a man with weight. You don't need to be cruel. You don't need to be toxic. You don't need to play games. You need boundaries. You need mission. You need control over your emotions. You need consequences. You need your own arms. And if you're a baby daddy watching this, listen. Your kid is learning what a man is by watching you, not your words, your standards. The world is loud. Be precise. The world is chaotic. Be the order. This is Rich Baby Daddy, Poor Baby Daddy, and I'm out.